Hey boys, welcome back to the hole. Let's get her going.
What up, boys?
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sharing a Hole. That is what it's called. Hope
Episode
everyone's
2.
doing great.
Yeah. So we're having a bit of computer troubles here. We can't get our mics going, so we're recording this on the phone tonight.
It's about as
Unfortunately.
as I can't talk right now. I can talk all day, but I can't talk right now. Excellent. That's 100% worth it. I love that. I absolutely love it. So, how was everyone's week?
That was good.
Busy.
Busy. Absolutely. Stupid busy.
At work, they got me doing stuff, but they don't have everything there.
Oh.
So it's like, here's half of this and half of that and 3/4 of this.
Make it all work.
And boys, you got to order all this, and it's just frustrating. I gotta say.
Absolutely. Well, and we're recording this on the 29th of January right
Yeah.
now. We are currently in a warm section of the winter. We just got done with 4 days of +3. And you look at the old weather network coming in for next week because it's starting to get cold. Like right now, January 29th, -2. That is unheard of for Alberta winter,
Yeah.
right? Next Monday is going to be a high of -25 during the day.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're coming for a cold.
During the day, it's -25. It'll feel like -29 at the height. So it might be a 3-day weekend, is what I'm starting to think. because at night it's -40.
Is it supposed to stay cold after
No,
that?
then it regulates to like -10,
We get right back up.
like normal winter temperatures for this time.
It's funny too, because going into this winter, all I heard was, it's going to be a cold one, boys. It's going to
Yeah.
be crazy
I
because it
heard
was
That's
warm
what
the
I heard
last
too.
2
Yeah,
winters.
yeah.
Because last year
We've been spoiled the past 3 years.
We've been spoiled
We've been
really
fucking
badly.
spoiled. 'Cause, it was I don't know. This year is supposed to be El Nina, I think it is.
So- yeah, it was supposed
whatever.
to be
And
wetter
it was supposed
and
to be
heavier
wetter and colder.
Yes,
And
that
Nothing.
not. I mean,
we've
we've
got
had
lots of snow.
lots of snow. We've had extreme cold days, but that's a day or two. But what was it even last year? We had that week of really cold, and then it went back to normal.
That was it, yeah.
That was it.
We call it normal, but the -30s and 40s is the normal.
That's normal.
That's
though.
the normal,
That's normal for
right?
us.
Do you guys prefer it this way?
I would take this
Absolutely.
every
Yeah.
year.
Every
all
day
the
I will
time.
take. Yes. Yeah, if we could have like -10 up until New Year's, and then like +3 until spring.
We're almost at the perfect amount of global warming. Just a little bit more global warming.
We need to idle our cars a little bit longer in the morning.
Just a little bit more global warming.
Right?
and
Run
then
the
we'll be
air
right where we
conditioner a
need to
little
be.
bit more, even though we don't need it. What else can we do to help ourselves out? We can burn some more styrofoam.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
That'll get some
speed it
fucking
up, yeah.
chemicals into the air, right?
I got an interesting tidbit about global warming.
Oh,
yeah.
here we go.
So carbon in the atmosphere, or whatever, carbon dioxide, whatever it is,
Yep.
it went from like 2 to 2.5 or between 2.5 and 3 or something like that.
Okay.
Because there's more carbon in the atmosphere, trees and greenery is coming back faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's actually helping the environment.
So there was in a similar kind of sense. So did you ever dinosaurs like a brachiosaurus or one of these big long neck?
Yeah,
fuckers,
one of those
like
long neck
dick neck
suckers.
fuck.
Dick necks, yeah. What up, Dick Neck?
They had smaller lungs than what could be supported in our current atmosphere.
Because the oxygen level is higher, right?
Well, I think the oxygen level was a bit higher, but the atmospheric pressure
Oh.
was like heavier. It was like a half heavier or a full amount
Yeah,
more pressure.
full atmosphere.
And so the animal or whatever didn't need to breathe as heavy or work as hard to get
Shit.
the amount of same thing. So they did a study where they put plants in the same kind of atmosphere,
Yeah.
in like a vacuum, but not a vacuum, but in like a sealed chamber with that
Sure.
same amount of atmospheric pressure,
Yeah.
and they grew massive.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Like this is obviously, don't quote me on this, but there is a time in our history called, what the hell is it called? The Great Oxygenation or something, because
Okay.
when little tiny bacteria were starting to get bigger and stuff, I'm pretty sure the main gas on Earth was carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Everything up to that point breathes carbon dioxide, and then something happened where it shifted from carbon dioxide to oxygen,
Oh, okay.
and that almost wiped everything out.
Fair enough.
and which is just, but
Yeah.
how the fuck do they know that?
Who knows? Yeah, the Earth has
I don't
gone
know.
through so many different changes since
Wow,
the
it
birth
just-
of life till now. Is
And I mean, it's a big guessing game a lot of the times, right? Like, that could have been 100,000 to 1,000,000 years ago. Well, cool.
Yeah.
So you really nailed it down to
Yeah.
a specific time. Perfect.
So there's like 5 different mass extinction events that happened
Yes,
on Earth. So
absolutely.
that would have been one of them.
That would have been one of
Like the
them.
first or something like
Yeah,
that, maybe.
then the dinosaurs was one. But yeah, there was extinction level events way back.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
But well, that's how you get like you want to talk about like Sumerians, like the ancient peoples. A lot of people, reason that they had ancient technology, but where'd it go? There could have been a cataclysmic flood, volcano, earthquake.
It would take one generation
One generation.
to forget everything from if something
Absolutely.
massive happened.
Well-
Like just picture this. Say something crazy happened, the world shuts down on a massive level, everything changes, people are going back to living in the woods and surviving the best they can. And like say it's you're 102 years old, you're sitting out on your porch with your grandkids, and then you see a plane fly over, and the kids are like, "What the fuck is that?" You know what I mean? They wouldn't have a clue of any of it.
No idea. Yeah,
Right?
you'd never be around it. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking
It'd be
cool
one,
though.
one generation, everything could be forgotten.
And in that same vein, just like we're all in our 30s, we were old enough to not really understand, but old enough to realize like 9/11. That was probably the first big
Yeah, it was
first.
for us.
yeah.
I can remember Columbine.
I was in high
Yeah,
school.
but
Yeah.
but nothing compared to 9/11. School
No,
shut
no,
down, got
everything
sent
shut-
home. Fucking,
Oh god,
it
there's
was all over the
big
news
old
and all
announcements
over.
and
Yeah,
stuff
it was
like it.
wild.
And I mean, we're in Alberta, Canada. We're on the other side of the continent from New York City.
Yeah.
I just showed. Well, I mean, Canada shut down, America shut down,
Yeah.
everywhere else shut down.
My dad was the airport manager in Goose
Right,
Bay when
and-
that shit happened, and a bunch of planes had to come in and land. in
There,
Goose Bay.
there's
So,
actually
Gander and Goose Bay were the big ones. They actually made a play about it.
there's a huge there's huge documentaries made about
so,
the,
and
the
it's all
people
about
of
Gander.
Gander,
But
yeah.
Goose Bay did it too, and it's kind of just like, fuck Goose Bay.
it's so shitty though,
And-
right?
and Dad was the
I was
airport
there
manager
too.
at the time. Yeah, exactly.
We had people bus to my community from Gander.
Yes, yeah, it was wild. It was
45 minutes
packed.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
and the reason they did that
Unbelievable.
is because they're both massive Air Force bases. Well, they used to be big Air Force bases.
Yeah, but they had the space.
the runway
runway
infrastructure to
link.
handle that stuff. So that's
Yeah.
why everyone went there when that happened.
Which is
Yeah,
great.
Gander has one of the few runways that can land a space shuttle.
Yeah, Gander
Yes.
and Goose Bay. I think
Goose Bay too?
Goose Bay, yeah, Goose
Yeah.
Bay's. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
something is telling me Goose Bay's is bigger than Gander's.
okay.
Yeah, I think
and I
so.
want to say, yeah, both places. Cold Lake, I think, is another
Yep,
one.
yep.
Is where they can land a space shuttle.
Where's
I think-
Cold Lake?
Like 2.5 hours northeast of here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
There's a big old Air Force base.
yeah. They fly the F-18s out of there and shit. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they have 2 F-18s ready to go around the clock just in case,
Yeah. So,
which is super fucking cool.
Being a Canadian, you don't really think about that very much.
No, you do
Like
not.
our military and our Air Force.
I was doing work north side of the Henday, right around 66th Street. On a clear summer day, you can hear them at the gun range.
oh yeah.
The Army using fully automatic weapons. You can hear like you're 2 miles away, but you can hear it. You see black helicopters flying around all the time. Like
I spent many summers in Gagetown, New Brunswick, doing the same shit.
Yeah,
as a
absolutely.
youngster in cadets and stuff, and it was
But
it was-
unless you live on the north end or drive around there, you would have no idea.
No clue.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
And CFB Edmonton's right there.
no. So I want to change gears a little bit there for a second. We got some big news at Sharing the Hole.
Big news.
We've bought sharingahole.com.
Can you imagine sharingahole.com has not been taken?
I'm shocked.
It's not porno. It's not something
Mind-blowing.
weird. Like it's not like one of those like you know what
I was shocked some greasy porn site didn't have that. I figured we'd be going for sharing a hole 666-33332.com.
or something. Yeah, or like sharing a whole like or something. Oh.
Yeah.
But like sharingahole.com is ours.
That's
And it-
wild.
It feels like we won a lottery.
We
with that.
did. We got that. That's excellent.
Like-
Such a good name. I
like-
love it.
At least if something happens to this, we can sell it to a great
Yeah.
I was gonna say sell it to Pornhub or something, right?
Yeah, hit up Brazzers. They'd love that.
I was thinking that we should figure out a way for the website. It's like, you know how like when you went to a porn site, it's like, oh, if you're not over 18, click here, and it'd take you to Google. You'd just be like, do you want to be here? No, and it takes you to Pornhub. They're like, what the fuck?
I like that. I like that.
Just something fucking outrageous.
And then the other thing I want to talk about was the new show we're watching,
Yes, the new show that
So good.
everyone has been watching,
Landman.
Landman on Prime.
So Tony told me about this show. He was like, "Hey, you gotta watch this show, Landman." I was like, "What the fuck is Landman?
Landman.
That sounds lame as shit."
It
Landman
doesn't sound good at all.
And anyways, so I got what's it called, Paramount Plus. So I said,
Right,
That's what
it is
I've been
on-
watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paramount Plus
Okay.
on
Yeah.
Prime.
So
Yeah.
I got Paramount Plus. I was like, fuck it, I was scrolling through and I didn't know what to watch. I seen it. So I was like, Tony told me about that one. I'm gonna flick that on. And I was hooked right away. As soon as it got going, Billy
Yep.
Bob Thornton, I loved
Billy
everything
Bob
about it. I was
Thornton
like, fuck
as
yeah,
an
this
oil
is...
man is fantastic.
And this, the starting scene right away, he's head covered with the cartel, killing people. It's just
Absolutely,
perfect.
because
Yeah, really
because they're they're Midland, Texas,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty close to the border.
Yeah, oh yeah, guaranteed it's right
Yeah,
there.
it's right there next to the cartel land.
So if you're a Billy Bob Thornton fan, or you're just an oil fan, or you just like watching TV, great show to watch.
Great,
Do you
great
think
show.
it speaks to us because we've all worked in the oil sands?
1000%.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's,
Like the first episode when they pick up that new guy, they take him for coffee, and they're like, "Don't get anything," or like, whatever you want." He gets like.
latte.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
iced latte,
Yeah.
and this holds everyone down. They're like, "Oh, come on!" That gave me whiplash. 'Cause it's like
100%.
I've been that dude.
Yeah.
I've been that guy when you're the brand new guy on the crew,
Oh yeah.
and
they're
they just set you up
fucking
to
with
get,
you.
to
Oh
get fucked
man,
with all
everything.
the time.
Find
And
the
you're-
Matter Daddy. Go get the Matter Daddy.
Yeah, go get the pipe stretcher.
Where's the basement? You need to
Yeah.
find the basement. It's
Find
down in the basement. This
When
place
you're in
has
the
no
basement,
fucking
get me a bucket of
stairs.
steam and run back up here. Fucking crazy. It just
Oh. So I got Ty, and I know we're recording this, so I hope he doesn't
Yep.
hear it, but I got Ty with the Keefers cage
Did
fight.
you?
Oh, D-Man was along with it and everything. Like, we got him with it. Like, he's
Thank
there.
fuck.
And I told him not to talk about it. I told him,
Yep.
like, unless he brings it up to you, don't mention it to him. And I was
because
like,
he brought it up to me. He's like, I heard about Kiefer, and I was like, oh my god.
so anyways, you're outside of this. At
Yes.
work, for whatever reason, when I decided to do this thing. When Tony started, I convinced Tony, one of these guys we work with, was a former cage fighter.
Yeah.
And he killed a guy in the cage.
And that's
he's
why
all
he had to-
fucked up about it. That's why he's a plumber now, and he doesn't like to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's
he
all
just
this-
likes to get his hands dirty, do
But I was
his
like-
job, go home.
Be careful around Kiefer, because he's a snapcase, man. You got to
Yeah.
just be careful what you do around the guy. He's a bit off. He did kill a guy. He retired because it just fucked him up in the head. No, so I convinced him. He believed me.
So that whole day, we were working with Kiefer was on site with us. I was going far out of my way to not even look at him. Like, anytime that he needed help, I'd be like, oh, Pippin got you. Like, I wouldn't even be near him. At the end of the day, he finally cornered me. He's like, Tony, did I do something? Like, did I piss you off somehow? I was like, man, I don't want to piss you off. Like, I'm new here. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get on your bad side. You seem like a pretty cool dude. And he's like, right? And at this time, I'm like shaking in my boots. I'm like, oh fuck. He's
Is
gonna
he a
hit
big
me.
fucking dude?
He's a big dude. Yeah, big fucking ginger.
Tony's bigger than
Yeah, but-
Tony shouldn't be scared of him at all.
Yeah, I should no. But then he's like, did I do anything? And I was like, man, I heard about your past. We're good. Like, forget about it. We're good. And he's like, what do you mean my past? I was like, I heard about the incident. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, fuck, he's going to make me say it. I was like, when you killed that guy in the ring. And he's like, what? And I was like, when you fucking murdered that guy. And he was like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like, Pittman told me all about this. He's like, Pittman just lied to you. I was like, what? I was like, what did you do before this? Photography! He's a fucking photographer!
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's so good. I
Holy
loved everything
fuck.
about it. Every moment of it I loved it. It was so good.
Oh my god.
So now the newest guy we got, Ty, great kid by the way. I got him convinced, and Dennis was there when I was telling the story. And Dennis didn't flinch. Dennis
Oh, I
was
love
like,
it so much.
Dennis was all aboard, ready to get him
that
again.
gives me
So,
life
yeah.
so much. Oh.
Did you get Kiefer in on it this time?
No, Kiefer
No.
has no idea of it at all. It's perfect.
No, he's at school. He has no idea this is going on. Yeah, the lore that surrounds that guy,
Yeah.
fantastic.
We work with a lot of cool dudes, man. I like
real,
everyone. Yeah,
real
Kiefer-
fucking one of a
Kiefer's
kind.
clever
people.
as shit. I gotta give
Very
him
clever,
He's
very-
clever as shit. The little quick witty shit that he gets
Yeah.
up with, I love it.
But he is pretty steadfast in his views. They're telling me like the first day that he was on site, they're like, "Hey, it's noon. I'm taking my lunch now." And they're like, "Oh, I guess, okay." And so he like went out of his way, found a lawn chair, propped it up, took out his phone, started eating a sandwich as they're in the middle of doing something.
You gotta have balls to do that.
And I was like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I was like, what'd you say, D-man?" I was like, "What could I say?" I was so surprised, impressed, mad. I didn't know what to say. So I just let him go. I was like, "Yeah, that's fair." He's like, "But like on the burst crew, you kind of eat when you can. You don't.
You
don't
take
have
there's moments and
mandated stops.
it takes a minute to figure it out, but like there's times where you do have downtime where it's only one or two guys can actually do something.
Do something.
You know,
So-
waiting on that process, and then that gets done
Yeah,
and
it's,
carry on. So.
yeah, it's a very
I've worked in a lot of jobs like that.
yeah
as
where
well.
you
take your break when you can.
sandwich in one
Yeah.
hand, tool in the other. Sort
Yeah,
of thing,
and
right?
like most of us are pretty good. You take
Yep.
5-10 minutes here or there, whatever.
yeah, shove your face.
Some
full of
days
food.
I don't take a break at all. I just fucking eat
Some
on the
days you
go.
just give her, yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy, like, he even did it when I first started. I'm sorry, Kiefer, I love you, but he would come into work wearing like tight shorts,
His little
and
belly
a-
shirt.
his
Yeah.
fucking like wife beater belly shirt
Oh,
that would like rise above his gut. When he sat down, you're like, whoa! But like, he doesn't give a shit.
The exuding
doesn't give a
confidence,
shit. Like
yeah.
he is the ultimate alpha in
Yeah,
that respect.
just
Doesn't give a fuck.
confidence, yeah.
I'm comfortable. I don't give a fuck.
That's life.
And you're like, you are a fucking gem. Because you're like, you're wearing Hoochie Mama shorts when you definitely don't have Hoochie Mama legs.
Was he at that wild party I went to with you?
He was there. Yes,
was
but
there for
left-
a little bit.
He was there for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there for a minute. I have a video or two from that night, eh?
Yeah, that was a good
There's
night.
a video of me, of us in the tent.
Yeah.
That will never see the light of day. But the one that I have shown people is when we're at the concert area. You were there. You were there. And it's when Owner showed up.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like, Owner sat down. You were there. You were like, everyone was there. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.
Like the
Yeah.
best snapshot of the night. Because I for sure don't remember much after.
No. No, it was a good time. Yeah. So another thing I was thinking about too, boys. Who do you think we could pull for sponsor?
Ooh.
We're not gonna get like a McDonald's or
No.
a Coca-Cola, but like, you know, we could pull like a Mike's Don't Air or something.
Yeah, some local or something would be
Something
fucking
local.
great.
And I wanted to hook a charity onto us too. The Yes charity in
Yeah,
Edmonton.
YESS.
Yeah, they're something that I think they're good people there
Good
for
people.
sure.
Well, like we were talking earlier off mic, it's little kids, babies, toddlers. They have a lot of programs, a lot of
Yeah.
things for them. It's the people that are teenagers, people
Mm-hmm.
aging out of foster care, people getting kicked out of their houses.
Yeah. So the ones like, you know, I look at it as I had a great childhood, a great mom and dad. They gave me more than I ever deserved. Like never wanted for nothing. Everything was great. Even as an adult, if I needed something, hey mom, dad, like help
Yeah,
me.
if I need to call you at 2 a.m. and wake them up,
Without
they'll
it.
be mad, but they'll
They're
pick
there.
up.
Imagine not having that.
Couldn't.
Imagine not having that. Imagine not having anybody. Imagine not having
Could not
anyone to call. The
fucking
only
imagine.
people you could call would be like a social worker.
Or yeah,
And
a
even
social
that- and that's a
worker.
stretch.
And that's during work hours
Right?
or
And
something,
you're
right?
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. You know you're coming up. You got nobody. You're going to be an adult. You're booted out of all
Absolutely.
this stuff. So,
You need you need to go
Uh,
to work
I
or
This-
can't even comprehend the mindset that they
Nope,
must
Right?
have.
I can't
And-
even
and-
begin to rationalize
Yeah.
what people feel.
there's so many people out there in that position. And,
There is.
right, and then
Right in our city
you know
right now, yeah.
the amount of other people on a negative side that are waiting just to take advantage of these guys.
Absolutely.
And, you know, so there's charities like YESS in
Yeah,
Edmonton that try to mitigate that as best as they can. They
And
give
I'm
shelters.
saying
and-
don't donate to charity, to like like little kids don't need it, blah blah blah.
No,
I'm
not
not
at
saying
all.
that. Not saying
Not
that.
at
I'm just
all.
saying that in addition.
This
Like,
is one we like.
Yeah, this is the one that we like. It hits close to home for a lot of us because we could have been that fucking guy sitting out there on the fucking corner,
Right.
hoping someone would give us a hand up.
Yeah. So,
I-
if you got a couple bucks to donate, they got a website. They're all online. YESS Edmonton, hit them up, check them out, throw a couple bucks their way, offer some time to volunteer in any way, whatever you can. If you can't do nothing, just show them some support.
Yep.
And but yeah, we like those guys. We're gonna latch on to them. They're gonna be our crew, and whether they know it yet or not, but but yeah, check them out.
Is it legal to kick a child out of a house?
I think it's a real big gray area.
There's a lot, like,
right? There's a lot of.
if you're a guardian of someone or a parent,
You legally have to take care of that
you
person.
in a sense, but you also in Canada have ways of giving up your parental rights and
yeah,
stuff.
you can give
And
up
then
your
there's a lot of
rights,
that
and
too.
then
People
there's.
just, yeah.
I've heard I can't even remember what it's called, but I went to high school with a guy. He was dad left him and his mom when he was a kid. Mom died when he was in high school, so he had to go to work to keep his brother and sisters fed and stuff. And
So he would have to get like legally emancipated type thing?
that's the word,
That is
emancipated.
emancipated, yeah.
Because he had a stepdad, right? That no, you're my kid until 18, whatever. And he's like, I'd like to be my own man.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was 16. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
But
do
it's
it when you're 16.
you can do it. It's a big court thing. You have
Yeah.
to have everyone in and all this stuff. But it can be done. But they don't do it very often because it usually doesn't work out.
No, and the more common one is the parents are abandoning the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something happens to the parents. Like just say,
Yep.
you know, not to say it, but like say, you know, there's a couple of kids, mom and dad get in a car accident.
Yep.
Both die. They have no
What happened to the
family, they have nobody else.
Yeah,
what
where do the
happens
kids
to
go?
them? They go into the system.
They go into the system.
I actually looked into legally emancipating myself when I was a child.
Yeah.
Just so I didn't have to listen to mom and dad.
Yeah.
So I just looked into it. And in order to do it, from what I read and could understand of it, you had to prove
Yep.
that your parents were basically incompetent
Yep.
of raising you.
Which
And
is
I had no way to prove that, so I was
Yeah.
like, well, I can't do this.
Which is a real fucking.
Damn it, mom and dad are actually pretty good. Fuck
Ah, you
you.
say you're a good fucking child. Then fuck you guys. Fuck. I can't even make up anything. They won't believe me. Although making up stuff, here's a random story. When I was in grade 1, so years ago, what the hell were we doing? We went to a parent-teacher interview. East Coast, when you had it was like 3 times a year. It would take place at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Parents come in,
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to teachers, blah 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 blah.
Did you guys have to go with your parents?
Yes, we had to go and
Yeah.
show them our artwork.
Yeah, yeah.
All
We
that
us too.
bullshit.
For the parent-teacher interviews?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go.
Some
Oh.
of them, some of them was mom and dad only.
Only,
but
but-
some of them you had to go.
Yeah,
with
you
mom
had
and
to
dad
I'd
and
never
met with the
experienced
teacher.
this.
Yeah.
I was a shitty kid.
Yeah, I was a
student,
shitty kid too.
maybe
So
it
I
was
mean,
different.
so maybe that was why.
I
But
hated fucking yeah. Sorry, Tony.
but
interrupted you. Go
they're
ahead.
asking because my mom missed one or whatever, and she doing whatever. I said just off the cuff, I was like, she was in AA. As a joke, like just as a joke. I start laughing and the teacher starts frowning. And then
Yeah, mommy's at AA.
yeah, and then thank God the teacher and my mom were friends. So the teacher was like, Sharon is I'm sorry to hear that. She's like, Tony, we'll talk about this later. I don't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I made a funny joke. Made a funny joke. No? Here's another one. When we were 12, we went to Disneyland. And around that time, Delta airplanes were having a bunch of fucking problems. And so, one fell out of the sky, terrible shit. So as we're boarding, like I'm walking to my seat, I see a flight attendant. I'm like, hey, we're flying Delta 2. So I'm like, hey, do you know what Delta stands for? And she's like, no, what does it stand for? Thinking it's gonna be funny. I was like, don't ever leave the airport. Boy, did I get fucking hit from my dad. Boom! Shut the fuck up. We're not even off the runway yet. Fucking 12-year-old kid saying that shit. And then after that, they come around. At that time, they gave you, if you wanted headsets, they'd give you ones that only worked on that airplane, right? So I was like listening to stuff. I was like, can I keep these? And the chick's like, if you want. And I was like, yeah, thinking I got one over on them.
They had the 2 prongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, got home and I was like, What the fuck?
Yeah. I kept the one from my first airplane
Yeah.
ride, and I got home and I was like, what the fuck?
I had the same one though. All you had to do was cut one of them off.
I was 12. I didn't
Would it
know
work?
that.
And I'm pretty sure it only worked in 1 year then. But
Sure.
it still worked.
Still works.
All right, let's go down this road for a second. So we tried it last episode. They were a little bit hit and miss, but we got a couple of better ones this time. We're gonna hit up some would you rathers.
Would you
here.
rather?
Would you rather? So I got told this fucking gem at work by your buddy Tony over
Hey.
here. So
Would you rather?
You're gonna do it, or I'm gonna do it?
Yeah. Would you rather fuck Megan Fox with a dick, or fuck Hulk Hogan with a pussy?
I always had a thing for Megan Fox, so definitely.
But she has a
Megan
dick
Fox.
though, so when you're
Oh.
railing her, it's gonna be fucking hitting your dick.
I thought you meant fuck Megan Fox with a
No,
dick.
no, no,
No,
no.
no,
Megan
no,
Fox
she
with a
has-
dick,
she
or
has
Hulk
a
Hogan
penis.
with a pussy.
Hulk Hogan has a vagina, and Megan Fox
Has a big old, bigger than
It's
yours.
bigger than yours.
It's a big old fucking
Wow.
person.
I'm taking the Hulk man love for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I will fucking bet, brother,
Me too.
ripping off his shirt as I'm going into his fucking
when I was a
man-o-see.
small child, he was my hero.
Yeah, there
Absolutely,
you go.
fuck
so
it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, he's
I'd love
technically-
to-
Was he okay? So, was he born with it? Was this
Yes.
a birth penis?
Yeah,
Or okay.
yeah, she was born with it. He's born with
Okay,
it.
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
100% the Hulk love, brother love it.
Oh
all day
fuck
long.
yeah!
I'll enjoy the
absolutely.
shit out of it too.
Can you imagine the fucking the notoriety? Look at that dude. He fucked Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, right. Like
That dude fucked Hulk Hogan and made him squirt. Did you know Hulk Hogan can squirt? Brother! Brother!
All right, that was excellent. I love it. All right.
Okay. So we're all picking Hulk
Oh.
Hogan with the pussy.
Yeah, 100%,
Excellent.
yeah. We're all closeted homosexuals for short, but
I have another one if you want.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Would you rather fuck a woman with a fish lower body or fuck a fish with a woman lower body? So you have a fish head, woman body, or you have woman head, fish body. What would you pick?
I'll take the fish head woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you have to, right?
Well, where? Yeah.
Because I mean, what does a fish have that you can?
That you can fuck.
Yeah. Do
Has that
fish
little-
have
that little
fucking
squirt
areas?
Poop hole. There's a
They have a little-
hole thing there.
They do.
Like, where do their eggs come from?
That little hole thing.
That little same hole.
have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
Like you guys have seen The Boys, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like fucking The Deep.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh fuck! Never mind. I'm sorry. I asked that. Anyway, let
I'm taking the fish head
fish head,
Woman
woman
leg.
body. I'm sorry I
Me
brought
too.
that up.
love session, whatever that's going to turn into. All right. I had that one written down too, but it was at the bottom there. So the other one I had was, would you rather that every time you ejaculate, the song All Star by Smash Mouth
Ooh.
plays, or every time the song by All Star by Smash Mouth plays, you ejaculate?
Every time I ejaculate, it plays.
Oh fuck it! Can you imagine how fucking? So here's the question. Like, is it just playing? Just like it's just.
Oh yeah, it'll
It's
just,
just
like Heaven's Bells. It'll just start.
Oh
going
fuck! Oh,
off,
can
yeah.
you imagine how fucking awesome that would be? All the fucking like terrible. Well, not it would be funny, but like middle of church. Hey now, you're an all-star.
Middle
Oh,
of
fuck's
church.
sakes! Middle of church, middle of a wedding, middle of a funeral,
Yeah, it'd be
middle
terrible.
of a fuck like.
Can everybody hear it or just you?
Well,
Ooh.
everyone hears it.
Everyone.
Whoever's
Okay,
within
yeah.
vicinity of
Okay.
you, I guess. It's not like
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
like 600 decibels or something, but you know, it's if we're in the shed, you can rock out to it for sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're like standing at attention and you hear All Star comes on, you're like, oh, someone just got off. Fuck!
Yeah.
like sitting there listening to the national anthem at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and some chick's just about to sing, and you're, hey now, get the All Star. You're like, fuck sakes, keep it in your pants. That'd be great. Like, it'd be like just an extra little bonus to be like, you did it. Congratulations. Enjoy the song.
It'd suck if she's unsatisfied though, and just sitting there and just like gotta listen to this fucking shit.
How does the word go? It's like, how do you want? It's like if asking if the girl came, right? It's like, oh, I didn't come. You didn't finish. It's like, how do you expect me to care about you when God doesn't even care about you? You don't need an orgasm to have a kid. How do you expect me to
That's-
care for you?
Yeah, if the female orgasm was necessary for reproduction, we would all be
we'd
extinct.
all be fucking
Every
extinct.
one of us, as,
Or there'd be a
as-
family living.
yeah, as Jeff Foxworthy says, the blue collar comedy guy is like, men are like bottle rockets, just. And women are like diesel fucking engines on a cold morning.
Oh, fuck, is that true?
Have you guys ever
Takes a
been,
minute to get them going, but once
once
they
they
turn
do.
on, they go forever.
have you ever been fucking a chick and you're like, she's fucking faking this?
Absolutely.
For sure.
But
Even
but
when
do
they
you-
say they do, it's like, I don't believe you.
yeah. But you know that guys can fake it too, right?
No, yeah.
I've had to fake it.
Yeah.
When you're theoretically, if I was slamming it from the back and I had sobered up quickly and I want to get out of there, poof, I'm gonna come. Poof. See you later.
This only ever happened to me one time with one missus. And I was fucking her, and she was so over the top faking it, it turned me off. And
Fuck yeah!
I lost my boner. It was just like, I'm not into this no more. It's like too
I
much.
hate when it's too comical, too corny. You're like, what do you look like an idiot.
It was.
Like my dick's in your mouth, but you still look dumb.
Well, I think that's a wonderful transition point here now for
Anyway.
your Tony Talks.
All right, this week I'd like to talk about DARPA. Now, DARPA stands for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. So they're like the government's fun toy box, the American government's fun toy box. Let me put it that way. Founded in 1958, so it's been around for a while. So they are the ones everyone knows the U-2 spy plane.
Yep.
That came from DARPA.
Okay.
That's the Angel or whatever it's called?
Yeah, the one that can go up 100,000 feet. They have to wear
Okay,
spacesuits
yeah.
and shit. So I just wanted to talk about some things that they have proposed and things that they have done. For example, they had a project that they're coming out with. Well, not coming out with yet, that they're proposing. So when you need to drop off a troop for surveillance, you need to have fuel for them, right? You need to have food, water, all that stuff. So they're thinking, well, what if we drop a drone? Well, a drone's only good for as long as they have a charge. So their way of getting around that is, the robot dogs that they created? I'm sure
I've seen them on site.
Yes, you've seen the robot dogs, right?
Yeah.
So that came from DARPA.
Okay.
Those robot dogs, right? Originally came from DARPA.
I've seen one tip over.
Oh God. So with those, they are trying to figure out a way so that they drop one of those dogs off for surveillance and just leave it there for months in order to get it to. They want a machine to eat plants. And with the biomass, it will burn the biomass and create energy for the robot dog.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a lot like they're going to start eating humans soon. Now, that's pretty fucked up as it is. And that hasn't happened yet. That's just theoretical still. Here's another thing that they just came out with that they want to do. They have a thing called the red blood cell factory. Now, what DARPA is trying to do with that is they want to modify the human red blood cell in order for it to accept special, not viruses, but like programs almost, to rewire the red blood cell so that the soldier can be into extreme cold for longer or extreme heat for longer. Basically changing your physiology with a shot. Depending on what they need, that would be the shot. So if you need extreme heat coverage, boom, now you don't need to drink water near as much as anyone else because your body's suited for this. So they're making super soldiers. And that's something that is going ahead.
So they have had some success with it, I take it.
Yes, they have had success with Yes.
Can I branch off for 1 second?
Absolutely. Give her.
So I seen this video recently. It was this consultant, if you will, and he met with a bunch of these affluent people, and
Yep.
basically they're trying to figure out when the world inevitably goes to shit.
Yep,
they
which it will.
understand what they're doing to the world with the resources and the way they distribute the resources and just how the rich people are fucking everybody else. They understand that, and their question to him was, how do I keep order and keep power when everything falls apart and my money has no more value? So they're trying, so picture
Yeah.
billionaires in a bunker, world falling to shit, their
Yep.
soldiers are there protecting them, the soldiers are, why the fuck are we protecting
Yeah.
this guy? Nothing means anything anymore,
Yeah.
fuck this guy, we're
Fuck
in
this
charge
guy,
now.
yeah.
How do they stop that from happening? That's why they're engineering fucking robot soldiers, is because they want to be able to maintain control when
Yep.
shit hits the fan, and they
Sure.
have a button to push that tells,
Yep.
okay, these are
Go.
all gonna cooperate.
Yeah.
People don't cooperate, people,
No,
right?
shit.
Soldiers can change their mind if shit
Yep,
really goes
absolutely.
sideways, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's where they're looking right now, that's why they want to
That
bring
makes a
that
lot
shit
of
in.
fucking sense.
Wouldn't it be more viable to inject them with something like a little thing that'll blow up if they don't like reset it every day?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Because
I've seen
that
that in
could be
movies.
removed,
Yeah.
right? If
True.
it figures out, that could be removed. A robot will always, unless it's artificially intelligent, a robot will always obey the commands you give.
Yes. They'll always obey its coding, right?
Exactly.
But it
Can't
could
go against code.
potentially be hacked.
Fair.
Absolutely. you
But
can.
say the world is in disarray, how many people actually have the
As
ability to
electricity.
hack?
True. And the longer it goes, the more regressed people have become.
Yes,
they won't
sir.
even understand it.
Like we
Yes,
talked
sir.
about earlier.
Like we
with,
said earlier, it takes one generation.
Gone.
Do you
And-
ever watch the show 100?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
One Ada.
Ada.
Yeah,
yeah.
Octavia is my
Yes,
girl.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Octavia.
like that show. I watched, I think, the whole first season. I never got into it after that.
Oh, it gets good, man.
Yeah?
It gets fucking great.
I never.
I
It
want to
gets
tell you
fucking-
about it, but I don't because
No, I never- I never watched
I
past
think
the
I made
first
it to
season.
like season 6 or
Oh,
something.
went that long?
Oh,
No
fuck
shit,
it. Dude. Keep watching. It gets fucking great. I'm
This
serious.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
did too.
Yeah, fairly certain I
I
did.
watched
yeah.
it. Fuck, when it first came out, and then that was it. I didn't get
There's
back
so
into it.
much. There's so much.
Okay.
It gets
It-
more wild and
it gets
more
more
wild as
wild
it
and
goes.
shit.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good concept. I like.
Yeah, I loved it. It's great. Awesome.
they took it to a place I couldn't even imagine that they would take it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
Right on.
And another show. I think it got canceled after 2 seasons, but there's a show called Revolution. Now, picture this: while life is as it is right now, one day electricity just fucks off. Boom, gone.
Done.
Can't make electricity anymore. It's gone. What do you
Oh,
do?
it's impossible to
It's
make
impossible. Like you can't. No static. No
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing electric.
Nothing can make electricity.
Wow, the world would be fucked.
So the world just shuts down overnight, basically.
And like a shit hits the fan scenario, just say our power, like, because whenever a nuclear bomb goes off, it emits
Yeah.
an EMP. You can emit a nuclear EMP without actually having an explosion
Absolutely.
fully either. So you can knock out full power grids
That's why
or
there's a
solar
lot of people
flares and
looking
all
for
that shit.
like 1980s vehicles.
Yes.
No computer chips.
100%,
right?
yeah. But if, just say a solar flare knocked out all the power grid in
We'd
North
be
America
fucked.
or the world, whatever, the amount of shit that would go fucking so fast,
fast.
would be crazy. Like,
Yep.
most old people wouldn't make it a week
Nope.
or two.
Yeah, that's very true.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, think and
Oh,
take
fucking
this however you
hospitals
will,
and
but
shit.
like, diabetic medication, how are you gonna make that
Oh,
anymore?
it's fucked.
You're
can't.
fucked.
You gotta
right?
get it from pigs. No, I fucking do that.
And to branch out again for a second, I've looked into this because I know you're diabetic, and I've researched how do you make insulin
Yeah,
if
from
shit
scratch.
went nuts, and you have to literally, and even when you do it in that method using the pig's what is it, pancreas?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but they extract it from
It's
it somehow.
not even good.
Yeah,
Like it's shit.
Okay.
It's the ones they use now. They use like bacterial cultures and yeasts and
Oh,
all
yeah.
this stuff
Yeah.
and whatever. But the one that they did with the pig stuff, it was hit and miss. Like it was never perfect. Like
Yeah.
when they first developed it, it wasn't great, and it took like it was good. It was revolutionary. But it like to do it now, like say shit hit the fan and we had to go back to that, your body would struggle. To
Oh yeah,
regulate
natural
it.
selection would take me fast.
Take you the fuck
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
It sucks,
Yeah.
but I mean that's
And then like think of it this
How
way:
it is.
all the jails would be unleashed. Everyone in jail would be let loose. All
Yep.
like the homeless people, they would do the best out of anyone.
Yep.
Out of
Agreed.
everybody here, they
Agreed,
would do
yeah.
better than anyone. And then it would be like the biker gangs, criminals, all down the fucking list from there. It would just be people who are organized already.
Yeah, already
And
organized.
they would be able to help themselves, and they would take over. That's
Yep.
that's what
That's
we're talking
Cities
about.
would be the worst.
Cities would be
Because
terrible. You'd have to get out of
cities
there.
would be
They have
worse.
to import so much.
Yep.
It would just.
It would implode.
Yeah.
How would you get groceries? How would you eat?
How would you eat? There's no more
The only
no more
reason
trains, no
cities
more fucking long
exist
haul.
is because we've created an artificial way of living.
Yep.
Like if shit hit the fan, you'd have to get the fuck out
We'd have to
of
go
the
south.
city immediately.
We'd have to go south.
Yeah, go to the mountains or go south or
Or-
even go north.
Go north
Get
or go
away.
east into fucking Saskatchewan where there's no one.
Depends what's on the go. To be honest with you, if there's a war and you had to get away from all this shit, like
Go to Saskatchewan.
yeah, just
Go to
head out into
Saskatchewan.
fucking nowhere.
Clean lakes, all the eating you can have.
Yeah,
Fresh water.
Find
you're
a
good.
find a little hut, build her up, and do your best to fucking
Yep.
survive. And that's,
Dude, yes,
that's
live out
only
your
option.
days fucking fishing.
There was in
Could be a lot worse ways.
I think it was the Second or First World War, and I'm not sure which one. There was a group of Russian people that did that. They just said, fuck all this, we're out of here, we're not
Yep.
going to join the military. And they just went and lived in the woods. And
Excellent.
after the war ended, they didn't even know. And they just
Mhm.
kept living in the woods, and generations of
Forever.
them have lived, and that's where they still live to this day. They're just woods people
Yep.
living
Excellent.
in the woods. Yeah.
Perfect.
Did you hear about the? There was like 2 or 3 Japanese people who didn't know the war ended.
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
For
yeah. Their
eons.
Archer made a
Yes,
fucking...
they made a fucking
Yeah,
spoof of it. But
yeah.
yeah, the guys, whatever rank he was, had to go himself and be like, hey, the war's done. You're off duty.
Even
You're
when
done.
they... Yeah.
He
He
And
wouldn't go back.
even then, he was like, I don't know. Like, that's
But it
fucking-
was a long time. It was like 10 years or
I think it was more than
It was
that.
more, it was like
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But you think about it, there's millions of islands like that
Yeah.
all over the South Pacific,
Yeah.
all over there. Like
That could be more.
there could be people there still that we don't know about.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's some dead. That
If you want to see something crazy, look up the map for sunk Japanese ships and submarines around that area. It's just blankets.
Oh, yeah.
Just blankets from the Americans fucking them up. If you want to see a crazy thing, watch the new Midway movie. It shows how fucking close the Americans were at losing that battle.
Oh, yeah.
They almost lost Midway. If they would have lost Midway, it would be a way different war, I think. Maybe.
There's where I grew up, Goose Bay. It was an Air Force base
Yep.
in World War II, an American Air Force base.
Mhm.
And in the Churchill River, which just runs, so you can picture this, the Atlantic Ocean, then there's Labrador, and then there's this big long inlet
Yep.
that comes into Goose Bay, which is kind of the end of it, basically. Kind of the end of it. There's some rivers and shit that run off it. But anyways, Goose Bay is at the end of this inlet, and then you can go up the Churchill River from there.
Yeah.
And there's a German U-boat sunk in the Churchill River
Yep.
in Goose Bay.
Yeah, absolutely.
They saw it.
Yeah,
it's
the U-boats
there,
came all
yeah.
the way up the St. Lawrence Seaway, up to Montreal.
Yeah,
Isn't that fucked up? No, like it.
yeah.
Did they attack anything?
Nope.
It was just a.
They were just
And they did-
seeing what's the.
The one in Goose Bay, they think they abandoned ship
Yeah.
and just kind of died off in the woods
Yeah.
somewhere, or did
Yeah,
something.
fled from the war or something. yeah.
knows?
There are lots of fucking occasions like
Yeah.
that. Lots of people doing that.
There's somewhere in the states, one of the states, they have a whole whack of descendants of Nazis because they brought over all the war criminals that made deals and shit and put them.
Operation Paperclip,
Okay.
right? So the reason the Americans got to the moon and landed on the moon before the Soviets is because of Werner von Braun,
Okay.
which is a Nazi that they brought over after the war and sent them to work in NASA. NASA in the 60s and 50s filled with Nazis.
Wow.
Filled. So
Shit.
just, yeah, Operation Paperclip. They brought all the ones that they could get shit out of.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the war, the Germans, they had jet planes at the end of the war.
Okay.
At the very end, they only had like 30 of them, so it didn't make a difference at all. But they were, I think, like 100 miles an hour faster than any,
Yeah.
like the Mustangs, than anything.
Yeah.
And they could turn on a dime, like
It was it was
it was
it was
revolutionary.
a jet. Yeah.
It was a jet when everything else was props.
Yeah.
But there's only 30 of them.
Right.
But yeah, like, could you fucking imagine that flying over the channel, be doo, 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 and then you ping, and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I've heard that most of our medicine today can be traced back to the Nazi experiments.
Sure.
Nazis
And if they didn't, we
experiments.
wouldn't have what we have done.
Yes.
Same with the Japanese, Unit 731.
Okay.
A lot of people, they did worse shit to people than the Germans did.
I've
The
not heard of
Japanese,
these people.
Unit 731. Go down and fucking do a Google. There is the reason we know that the body is made up 70% of water. The Japanese found that out. They dried someone out fully.
They dried them out.
Yep.
Fully. They
They
dehydrated.
dehydrated the
person.
human body to see how much water was in it.
Fuck. That
They-
is fuck. That poor man.
Yes.
Did they kill him first?
Bro,
or they
yeah.
just- he died during the process.
He died during the process.
Oh my god.
They would take conjoined twins and cut them apart to see if they could survive.
Just see, Jesus Christ.
Like the worst, like the Nazis, terrible,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
worst. The Japanese, way worse. And the fact that like you go like Germans, they're obviously fucking sorry for what they did.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's still illegal to fucking have a swastika out in Germany. It's still super illegal. The Japanese,
Yeah.
fuck's sake, like the rape of Nanking. Before the Americans joined the war, they were going into China, right? They were expanding, right? They went into China into a place called Nanking. The event is called the rape of Nanking, and it is one of the most horrific things the Japanese did. They came in there with bayonets and started stabbing women and children if they did not get raped by them. And then they'd rape them more and rape them more. And the fucking horrific shit the Japanese did during that war is so unbelievable, and no one knows because, oh, Nazis.
Yeah.
But like, there was also the night before, so like they dropped both atom bombs. Yeah, we're surrendering. The night before, there's a coup. There's an attempted coup. The Japanese military, like the hardliners, were like, fuck that, we're not surrendering. We're gonna go kill the emperor. We're gonna take over.
Yeah.
And that was the night before they signed
Wow.
the surrender or whatever.
Shit. Canada's no gems either, though.
No.
We're pretty much the reason for the Geneva Conventions.
Geneva
The
suggestions.
Geneva suggestions, yeah.
Tell
So
me
in
more.
World
We are
War
fucking war criminals,
Dude,
man. We're savages.
In war, we are war criminals, man. We like it. For example, in World War One, they would, they had trench warfare, right?
Yeah.
So you'd be 50 yards apart. You could yell at the guy, and he could hear you. So Canadians on one of the lines, the Germans were like, they could hear that they were fucking starving, that they didn't have any food. So the Canadians were like, we'll help them. We'll throw over cans of beef or
Poison.
whatever, right? And they did that, and you could hear them open up, oh, fuck yeah, or whatever, right? And so they're like, well, that worked great. Let's fuck with them now. So they would take their grenade, pull the pin, put it inside that fucking container so that when you opened up, it would pop the pin. They started doing that. They're the first ones to do that. They also did things called night raids.
Yeah.
In World War II, they would, and in World War One, I'm sure,
Yeah.
they would basically go in blackface, right? Black themselves out. They middle of the night, like 3, 4 a.m. when you're at your most comfy, get into your barracks, like where you're standing or sitting, and they'd use knives and hatchets
And shotguns.
and shotguns. Point blank, poof, gone. And then sneak back around to the line, no one be the wiser. And then all of a sudden in the morning, they're, what the fuck happened? Massacre. Who did it? Who knows?
I don't see any problem with
They
this.
wouldn't
No.
take any prisoners of war.
I
They
knew
would-
about that one.
They would not take prisoners of war.
They were commanded not to, and,
Yep.
and basically, they, more or less, you're seeing your buddies get killed by these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Oh, we surrender! You're like, fuck you, you
Fuck
surrender.
you, sir. Well, that's the thing, right? There's a big contentious thing is the bombing of Dresden. So Dresden. So during when they're bombing mainland Germany, they're bombing Berlin and all the places where the war was really taking
This
place.
is still World War One.
World War II. Sorry.
Okay.
So Dresden it didn't really have any industrial. It was just people basically. It was just a big population center, and it wasn't hit ever at all during anything. And then when the Allies got close to Germany, Canadians were like, well, I mean, that's what you do with bombs, right? You're trying to terrify the public
Yeah.
in order to capitulate a surrender, right? You're trying to terrify everyone. There's a now I'm not sure how true this is, but there was reports that during World War II, around that time in Dresden, the Brits got a bunch of POWs, and they're like, we don't want to deal with them. Gave them to the Americans. The Americans were like, fuck this, and kicked the living fuck out of them because they just murdered all their boys. But then they moved them over to the Canadians. Canadians will take care of them.
Yeah.
We just killed them.
We killed everybody.
We just killed
Yeah.
all of them. Fuck you. See ya.
Yeah. So I was, I don't know where, if I read it or I seen it, but it was talking about what would happen, what's Canada's plan
Yeah.
if the U.S. decided to attack Canada or try and take over Canada.
Yeah.
So basically what I've seen, or I can't remember if it was a video or I read it, but anyways, it was Canada would basically let the Americans walk in.
Yep.
We would let them walk in.
Yes.
And we wouldn't put up a big strong front or anything like that. But what we would do is we would start fucking with the American public.
Yep.
And so like a lot of like the eastern seaboard, the power comes from Labrador and Quebec.
Yep.
And we just turn off the power. We
Turn
turn
off
off
the
the
power.
water, turn off this, turn off
And
the
we
oil.
turn off our oil.
Most of the refineries are set up
For us, from us.
for our oil to produce
Yep.
to process our oil and things like that. Like we send, what is it, 40%? I think it is.
It's a lot.
Significant.
And then you have to also, sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
but you also have to remember that, let's say America invades us, that would trigger Article 5 from NATO.
Mm.
So everyone, minus the Americans, could help us.
Yeah. But we would
I don't think
basically,
they would.
we would basically commit guerrilla warfare
Guerrilla warfare, and I'm okay with that.
continuously and fuck with the to make the American people's lives as uncomfortable as
Yep,
possible.
so
Because
they
we know
don't
we
want
can't
it.
win a direct conflict with the U.S. Their military is so much stronger. But we would run a campaign where we're trying to piss the American people off enough that they would
They don't
be
want
too
Canada
fed
anymore.
up with their
Yeah.
current government to deal with this anymore.
Yep.
I don't think NATO would help us at all.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I
Either.
think, they, but especially going against the United States, they
No.
wouldn't
Fuck no.
they wouldn't flinch.
Wouldn't flinch.
They
yeah, I
wouldn't
don't think
flinch.
they would
They'd say,
either.
"Sorry, Canada, you should surrender." Behind us, like
Yeah,
just
like,
give it to them.
Just relax. But then, yeah, then it would be 10, 20 years of guerrilla shit going on. And the Canadians working with cartels. I can see that too.
Yeah.
But
Right.
see, in that instance, I want us to become a part of America, personally.
You were
This
saying.
is my opinion.
Yep.
I would be helping the Americans. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. And
You
we
look
would,
pretty good down the sight of a gun there, big dog.
see, we would call you a collaborator.
I would be.
You would be a collaborator.
I would be mad to get us the.
Listen, at the end of the day, I can't. I have no political influence whatsoever. I have no option to change anything that's going to happen. I just want to be able to afford to fucking live. So whatever's
Agreed,
going to
yeah.
fucking happen is going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I really can't see anything of Canada becoming the United States, but it just say it fucking does.
Just say
as
it
long
does.
as I can live a better life than I'm currently living, it is what the fuck it is. I have no control. I am a proud Canadian. I'd love to remain Canadian, and I would fight for Canada, no problem. But something like this, I don't ever see that being a conflict type situation. It'll just be like a paperwork signing. Yeah, like sorry, guys, here it's yours. Like it'll
I can't see a fucking ground invasion.
no,
I don't see that either.
It'll never
Especially
happen.
with
We're too
China.
close allies.
It would just be it would be a
Something fucking major would have to happen.
Yeah.
Like something like earth shattering
Yeah.
would have to happen. Like we would have to become best allies with China or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Something
100
fucking ridiculous.
1,000%. Some Hitler type person takes over Canada.
Right,
type
exactly.
shit.
Right, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
The biggest enemy to Canada is Russia
yes.
because of the
Proximity that we
no
have.
the oil in the Arctic.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We're
want it.
like this with them right
Yeah,
now.
our proximity to them, like how
Yep.
close we are in the Arctic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's the oil.
Okay.
Russia is currently building all kinds of military bases
Yeah.
in
Yep.
their Arctic region on the islands out there to have a stronger claim to the oil in the Arctic. And Canada is this.
Not doing a fucking thing.
Well, we're not doing a thing. No, we're not. But we're the only competitor to the a large claim because we're of the land.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
But in that same vein, Alaska is there too, right? The Americans
True.
have the claim to it too, right? But it's kind of funny to listen to Russian propaganda. So since they're talking about, we're changing the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, who cares?
Yeah.
But then they're talking about like taking Panama or taking Canada,
Greenland.
Greenland.
Yeah.
And guy from Russia was like, "Wow, we sold Russia to the Americans in 1870. We'd like it back." I was like, could you fucking imagine if they tried a ground invasion in Alaska?
Oh,
They'd get so fucked up so fast.
Yeah.
Well, look at their success in Ukraine.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Speaking of, there are shotgun drones now.
Oh, no, yeah,
Drones
wow.
with double, two 12-gauge shotguns on them.
Nice.
I'd really like to know how the drone deals with the
The recoil?
recoil.
Yeah, me too.
It probably has a built-in
Built-in-
way of dealing with
Yeah,
it.
probably.
And there could be shock absorbers on the actual mounting of the housing of it that absorb the
Absolutely, yeah.
shock.
Yeah.
There's probably, they probably have it in the computer design that when it fires, the fan blades change
Or-
tilt
yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Who knows? Like the same as like a gun on an airplane.
Yeah.
Right? They fire that shit through the propellers on the old ones. It wasn't, like, it was all timing.
it was
and
all
shit.
I
timing.
didn't know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the,
So
the World War II aircraft, it fires through the propeller.
The propeller and the gun are on the same mechanism,
Yeah.
so that it's impossible for the gun to shoot the
Isn't
propeller.
that fucking cool?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Now, in that same vein of prop planes, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit of a story.
Yeah. So
So, back in, can I get a date here? Yes. Back in 1955, the Americans were like, we're getting jets now and stuff, but we should try prop planes one more time. So, this is called the XF-84H, otherwise known as Thunder Screech.
Thunder Screech.
Thunder Screech was an experimental turboprop aircraft derived from the F-84 Thunder Streak. Powered by a turbine engine that was mated to a supersonic propeller.
It was supersonic.
Supersonic propeller. The X-84 had the potential of setting the unofficial airspeed record for propeller-driven aircraft, but was unable to overcome aerodynamic deficiencies, right? So, the thing with this thing was that it was like, I'll show you a little picture, just a little one-seater airplane,
Okay.
right? That was back
With
in
a
the
dual with a dual prop on the front.
dual prop.
Okay.
So that thing was designed to break the sound barrier. A prop plane breaking the sound barrier. Now, the props were moving so fast that when it was idling on the runway, the edges of the props were breaking the sound barrier. So, so you hear boom, 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 like boom, like
Oh,
Constant
okay.
sounding.
boom, 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 like the song's
Oh,
moving,
yeah.
right? As it's just sitting there idling. When it was at full chat in the air, it was 900 sonic booms a minute.
So did it actually reach supersonic
It
speed?
got close. The first test pilot, he went up, did a few things, came back down immediately. He said, "You're gonna have to court-martial me in order to get me back in that aircraft. I quit. I'll never fly another aircraft again. That was too scary. That was like, enough for me." He said, "You did one flight." He said, "Fuck that.
Very
I'm
good.
done."
The
They-
constant noise of it breaking the barrier had to suck.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. They didn't.
But you're
you know,
ahead
this
of
is-
it. When you're flying, you're ahead of it.
You're ahead of it.
Unless you're going slower than the speed of sound, then it would be right there with you.
Then
But if
you're-
you get to the speed of
Speed of
sound, or
sound,
faster, it's all behind you.
All behind you.
Yeah.
But it's the 50s. They didn't really know much about it. Like nuclear energy was still in its infancy, right? So there's a story of a mechanic standing 30 feet away, and they turned it on and it fucking just knocked him over. And people, what the fuck? That was a sonic boom hitting him. So after that test flight, the Army was like, "Holy shit, this thing is fucking loud. Like you could be a mile away, you'll hear it." And so they had to move it from Edwards Air Force Base, where there's people, out to the middle of the fucking desert, hundreds of miles away. So no one, it wouldn't bother anyone. Did it reach the speed of sound? No. Was it funny? Yes. Was it worth the money? Probably not.
Definitely not.
But they only made two, and that's it.
Very nice.
Never again.
Is it in a museum somewhere now?
I doubt it. I doubt it. It's probably in some rich dude's front.
Yeah.
Probably.
Somewhere. All right, boys. So before we wrap up for the night, when you were at the house earlier talking to the dog, I just had a weird question I wanted to talk about or ask you guys. So I'll ask Anthony first. What was your favorite pet you've ever had? Do you have dogs, cats, anything like that?
I had dogs and cats. My favorite was, you met my favorite animal.
Okay.
Remember that little black kitten I got in your house on Fresh? That
I
JJ
do.
brought there?
Yes, I do.
That was my favorite animal I ever had.
Okay, whatever
It
happened to you?
was, he got poisoned.
Oh.
We used to
Shit.
let him out of the house.
Oh, okay.
And 100% sure that he drank antifreeze or something.
He did.
What was his name?
Fuck, I can't even remember what I called him. It was so many years ago.
Yeah.
But he was the most loving and gentle and just your buddy cat I've
Yeah.
ever had in my life. And I've had a bunch of cats.
Yeah, and nothing even comes close.
Oh, he kicks the shit out of the 2 cats I got now.
Yeah, just a personality, and it was just fun
Yeah.
to hear. Yeah, we
What about yourself, Tony?
childhood dog, a golden retriever named Riley. It was, gosh, she was just great.
Yeah.
Just super. At like age from like when we got her to about age 6, she was rambunctious and
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
But then she just chilled right out.
Right
like
on.
we could like. Her favorite thing was to sit on the front porch, just watch the world go by. We never tied her up. She wouldn't run away. Like she just hang out.
Yeah.
She's a really chill dog. Just
Right
so nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was my dog Blizzard. I don't know if you ever met Blizzard.
I don't think so.
No, I had her. Me and Devin got her when I was 13 or 14. So a childhood dog, if you will, more or less. And she lived like 14 years. She lived a long old life. She moved down to Newfoundland with us after we left Labrador. But same kind of thing. She was rambunctious as fuck till she was like 4 or 5 years old. But there was a point. She used to run all the time. She'd take off and go on
Yeah.
forever. She'd never get her back. She'd just run. You have to go get her. She did it one day. Ran out the road, go to get the dog across the street because the neighbors had a dog. They'd always have it. Anyway, she got out, ran off. Car hit her, smoked her. Took her down, flipped her around, whatever.
Yeah.
She fucked her shoulder up. It was Christmas time. And I remember that whole Christmas she was sitting by the tree all Christmas, just
Yeah.
crippled. Anyway, she came around, got better, and then after that, that dog wouldn't go nowhere from you.
Oh, yeah.
You'd call her immediately,
She'd be
right
right
by
there.
your side. And the rest of her life, she lived like that. Was the best dog I ever had. You'd
Yeah.
take her snowmobile and she'd hop up on the seat with you and ride.
Yeah.
And when she get bored of that, she'd jump off, run next to you, fishing, hunting, everywhere. She had an amazing life.
Yeah.
Loved that dog.
Got
Brilliant
scared
dog.
and
Yeah.
knew better after that.
Yeah. The cat's name was Midnight.
Midnight.
Hey, there
there
it
you
is.
go. I remember. Yes, I remember that. I do remember that.
Do you?
Midnight. Yes, I do. I should have known that. I knew that name. I did know that name. But yeah. So I think we're getting close to the end over there tonight, boys. Just a little blurb. I'm going to say, donate blood if you can donate blood. Do it.
Is there a
Please.
shortage now?
There's always a
Always a
shortage.
shortage.
Always a shortage. Donate blood if you're able to. Donate blood.
As a
I
guy
can't do
whose
it.
life was
I'm not allowed to
saved,
do it either. I got an immune system disorder.
as a guy's life who's saved by donated blood, please
Yeah.
donate if you can. Please.
Donate blood. You got her. Anything before we go, boys? Good? You got her? That was a great episode. I enjoyed the fuck
liked
out of
it
that.
too.
That was
It was good.
excellent.
It
I
was
enjoyed
great.
the shit out of that. All right, boys. Thanks for falling in the hole. And remember, it's a pipe wrench, not a hammer. See you next time on Sharing a Hole. Cheers.
Didn't that literally happen on Landman?